top 10 underrated Nintendo 64 games.
The power of the Dark Souls. I embrace it.
Shadowman is a horror platformer featuring a comic book character, Michael Leroy.
Glad you could make it.
How could I refuse your offer? How could I ever refuse you, Agneta?
You can't.
A possessed voodoo super being who must absorb the darkest of souls in the depths of hell.
Hello there, Michael. How's that treating you?
Jaunty, kindly refer to me as Shadowman. Michael Leroy has no place here in Deadside.
As the first 3D Metroidvania, Shadowman's quest is filled with dark souls to collect and serial killers to destroy in a dark semi-open world.
Mike, there's no time to waste. Use Luke's bear and go Deadside.
Ruja Kids is a fighting game with a unique art style featuring doodles drawn to life by a bunch of kids who decide to beat the stuffing out of each other using their imagination. The result is a super creative concept which combines the aesthetics of Parappa the Rapper and gameplay like Street Fighter 2. Perhaps overlooked because of his license, Mickey's Speedway USA is a worthy Mario Kart clone with nice handling, a rewarding learning curve, and plenty of speed. Although overshadowed by Mario Kart, the game is a worthy runner-up that turns up the heat with an ongoing sensation of speed.
This just won't do! Oh, I do not like losing!
Hey.
Fighter's Destiny 2 is an unconventional fighting game that borrows the scoring system of a real-life martial arts tournament rather than relying on a traditional health bar.
Knockdown! Win 3 points!
So basically, fighters score points depending on certain actions performed, such as knocking down the opponent, performing a ring out, or landing a special attack.
Hey-ya!
Excellent throw! Win 2 points!
Whoa!
The game was never a heavy hitter compared to its competition, but the devs came up with a unique way for players to win matches like no other.
Winner! Pippin! Serious Hangtime!
Everyone remembers NBA Jam, but no one talks about NBA Handtime, which was basically NBA Jam 3, all but in name, a game which continued the tradition of nonsensical high sky dunks and arcade style basketball.
Lighting it up! He's on fire!
Handtime also had an insane roster, no Michael Jordan of course, but it followed the 1996 roster otherwise, which had so many legendary players. The biggest addition, however, was the create a player mode, which allowed you to build your dream baller.
Wildshot! Unbelievable!
Winback not only gave Nintendo 64 gamers their first taste of tactical stealth, but it also influenced many iconic video games that followed. You could write Winback off as nothing more than a discount Metal Gear Solid, but truly it was ahead of its time due to being the first game to incorporate a cover mechanic in a third-person shooter. You play as Gene Cougar, a member of the United Nations anti-terrorist unit who has to retrieve a laser weapon. The first 3D platformer to showcase a physics engine was Rocket Robot on Wheels, a laid-back game that had a tough job of standing out in an already overcrowded genre. Players control a robot named Rocket with wheels for legs and must collect tickets to save his owner's theme park, which are the equivalent to Super Mario's Power Stars. Getting these tickets typically involves completing a puzzle, platforming segment, or something more unique like building your own roller coaster. Bumble is a third-person shooter where you shoot and blow up stuff as a busy bee on a mission to stop mutant bugs from taking over London. It also has a banning theme song. Behind that catchy theme song is a unique flight combat game with fun gameplay and features that no game had tried before its release. Although Bumble has been almost entirely lost to time, it will always be remembered for its hype UK garage soundtrack. Tonic Trouble is a poor man's version of Rayman 2, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Apparently the game is a prototype of Rayman 2, which stars Ed, a limbless janitor who has all the wacky antics of Rayman but none of the charisma. Although rough around the edges, Tonic Trouble is a solid 3D platformer that holds up and will scratch the itch of players looking for a game similar to Rayman 2.
Wow! Yeah!
In Space Station Silicon Valley, players control a robot that can hijack robot animals and use their abilities to solve puzzles. Each level is full of objectives, and to complete them, players not only have to use different animal powers, but also have to think outside the box. While undeniably creative, Space Station Silicon Valley is a product of its time in some pretty rough ways.